I wanted to talk about free-to-play games and why I think free-to-play games are actually a good thing. And before you click away and say, this freaking guy is going to cost us shit tons of money, all this stuff, stay here for a few minutes, listen to what I have to say, and just relax. So, in the background, before we get going, the background of this video is Warframe, one of my favorite free-to-play games that we got, and it really is sort of what I deem to be one of the best free-to-plays you can get on console right now. I know PC has quite a lot more options. I'll be perfectly honest and say I don't know much about PC games, but I'm going to talk the few console ones I know and how I think they could work with some of the most popular console games. So, take a game like Warframe here. The premise, essentially, if you didn't see one of my previous videos on Warframe, you're this sort of spirit type character. You inhabit these warframes to go to war, and you basically kill everything. And the way it works, you get your first character free. They give you a set of weapons for free, no problem. And then everything else you have to build. And I can show you that near the end of this video. There's like a foundry type deal where you buy the blueprints, and the blueprints will say you need this much of this material, this much of this material, this much of this material, and then you build it and it'll tell you, okay, this is going to take 12 hours or this is going to take 24 hours. In the case of the characters, most of the characters take 2 days to build, I believe, if not more. And that's if you have all the pieces right away, because you have to build the head, the chest, and the systems all build separately. So you have to be cognizant of the time, and you can unlock nearly everything in this game without paying a dime. It doesn't cost you to play, it doesn't cost you to get on the server. It doesn't even cost you to customize your character, really, although they do limit your options a fair amount. All they ask for is that if you want stuff, if you want new weapons, if you want new characters, any of that stuff, you grind and you put the time in. And that's really what it comes down to. And there is a premium currency, so to speak, where you can buy it if you like. And using that, you can buy all the weapons and you can buy all the characters and all that good stuff. But the only thing they really ever ask you to pay for, and it's quite small, but it does rack up over time. But I honestly think it's worth it if you're gonna play this game a whole bunch. Is inventory slots. So eventually you will run out of space for extra characters, and you will run out of space for extra weapons and all that sort of stuff, and you're gonna need to either sell them after you've sort of ranked them up, or you can buy more slots. And frankly, I've always gone with the idea that you should buy more slots, because the slots are relatively cheap, all things considered. They only accept, it's one of the few items in the game that can only be bought with real money. So the way I look at these free-to-plays is that if you're going to put in sort of the amount of time you would put, say, a Call of Duty or an RPG or even a game like Borderlands, where you're putting in these mass amounts of time and all this stuff. Sorry, I'm just doing my crazy ultimate ability. There we go, kill everything. If you're gonna put that much time in, then putting 20 bucks, putting 30 bucks, heck, even putting 50 bucks into a game, to me, doesn't honestly sound unreasonable. Where it becomes a problem is where it's pay to win. And that's the thing I like about this game for sure, is it's basically pay to get stuff fast, or play to get stuff when you get stuff. And yes, there is a few things, like my character here is pretty much only available with the premium currency, because they sell prime characters, and you can get them for free, but they take a lot of grinding, and it takes a lot of hard work, and a lot of people even end up having to trade for stuff to get all the stuff they need. Which is the one nice thing, is there is a secondary market in this game where you can essentially trade or sell things to other players. I know quite a few people on my friends list actually solely do this. That's how they make part of their income, is they sell things to they sell things to other players that can't find them or can't get them or whatever it may be. So take a game, for example, take a game like Call of Duty. Call of Duty has always been $60 or $70, depending. I know in Canada it's 70 now. It's kind of crazy. And with like a $30 or $40 DLC. And it seems unreasonable to believe, because for a lot of people, they're only really playing Call of Duty. That's all they really play. They're only really playing multiplayer. So it doesn't make sense why you would say want to pay $60. For example, like I never played the Spec Ops or whatever the heck they started calling it in Advanced Warfare and Ghosts. I never played those. They weren't my cup of tea. I never liked them. I much prefer zombies. So I think they're a waste of money, to be perfectly honest. I think it's just a joke, and it's just Infinity Ward and then later Sledgehammer just trying to rip off some of the Treyarch success, which is kind of unfortunate, because it'd be nice if the three of them all just shared in the profits and that thing, and that every year we got a couple of great zombie maps and whatnot, but I doubt that's ever going to happen. But imagine, what if I said, okay, to get on multiplayer, to get on Call of Duty multiplayer Black Ops 3, it's free. You don't have to pay anything. But if you want to play zombies, zombies is going to be $20. If you want to play campaign, hey, campaign's going to be $25. And then, for example, say they give you one of each weapon, like your starter weapons, like your KN-44, whatever the SMG is, the Kuda, you have that semi-auto sniper, and you get a shotgun. Those are your starter weapons, and you get maybe a frag and a Semtex, kind of thing, like some very, very basic stuff. And they give you that to start out with, and that's how you roll. And then you want to unlock something new, so it's going to be 10 unlock tokens. But say, for example, it took you 10 hours to get 10 unlock tokens. And keep in mind, I haven't fully worked out the amounts of stuff, so it might seem a little crazy. But I think it could work, because that way people are buying what they want, not what they're told they need to have, kind of thing, essentially. And it comes down to you pay for what you get. So if you want less of a Call of Duty experience and you just want the multiplayer, yeah, go right ahead, get just the multiplayer, no problem. But if you want campaign, or you want any of those nice things, then you pay for it, and that can be sort of supplemented with camos and whatnot. Like if you want to buy those, you could buy those out of supply drops and whatnot. But the DLC, every couple months they would put out new maps, and say you could, if you wanted DLC maps, could be $2 a map or something, so you can pick and choose what you want and those sorts of things. I think that could work, at least for Xbox. The only reason why I see it being a problem on PlayStation 4, and I am slightly uneducated on PlayStation 4, so take my words for what they are as my opinion, and I'm not actually stating that any of this is really a good idea or will definitely work, because I highly doubt it will, but it'd be cool to see, even for a year, just say, hey, if everything goes free to play. My only issue on PS4 is the fact that you guys don't pay for like server maintenance and that sort of thing like we do with Xbox Live. So I'm not sure. I know PlayStation Plus, you guys pay a fee for that and work through stuff that way, but otherwise I'm not 100% sure, so I don't know how you would say pay for server upkeep and whatnot, short of making like really exciting cosmetic items like they have in games like Smite or League of Legends, where it's like character skins. So yeah, I think that would work, is giving people the option to buy the parts they want and not the whole package, because that's why mobile games have been succeeding as much as they have. Is they're $1, $2. They're not full games. They're never complete experiences, but what they offer you is a little bit they can, and if you want a little bit more when they come out with more stuff, for example, Angry Birds, hey, another $1 or $2, refresh your experience. Yes, it was a small experience. It wasn't super intricate or super detailed or any of that stuff, but you got what you paid for. You weren't just expected, hey, this is a game of this caliber, this is how much you're going to pay for it. So for example, here's the market, guys, if you're curious, where you can go through and you can buy characters, you can buy weapons and stuff if you need. And you'll notice here, if we go, for example, blueprints, all the blueprints, these are all the in-game money that you just get playing. You see I have I'm getting close to breaking 1 million, which is a little insane. And then here you'll see you have stuff like this is actually straight up real money, where some of the characters like mine come from, is those packs like that. And then you'll see here you have the premium currency essentially. So that's how this game funds itself, and I think Call of Duty and those typical $80 games could do a similar thing to this. I'm just worried that developers are afraid to try it. Maybe they think that they can just keep conning people into the $60 or $80 model for as long as they can. But that would also fill the gap that I feel like we have in gaming right now, which is the ability to rent games. And I don't know about you European guys or any of those, but I know Canada and the States lost Blockbuster, which was a huge way to rent your games, even rent consoles for a while, where you go through, for example, I didn't own a GameCube for a very long time, but I was able to always go out and rent one and play Super Smash Bros. Or play whatever I wanted for a weekend with some friends when they came over or whatnot. And I think we're missing that, and I know EA Access or whatever the hell it may be tries to give us part of that, but I think free-to-play could be the way, because for college kids and high school kids that don't have tons of disposable income, it could be a way to be able to play all the games they want, but they just have to put in more time, and you would assume at least some of them would have more time than, for example, sort of the older gamers in the 25 to 30 and up range who are working full-time and all that sort of stuff. So, something to think about, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully you enjoyed Warframe. And I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.